or was it a relationship? Here's the thing. I know TT got upset with me when I said that she was too clingy. It was given too much too soon.
Get ready, because what you're about to hear isn't just another rumor. Hollywood has a secret, one that has been carefully hidden behind glamorous red carpets, million-dollar smiles, and perfectly curated social media posts. But now, the truth is coming out, and it's shocking enough to shake the entire industry. The focus is on one person, Teyana Taylor. And the voice bringing this to light is Tasha K, who has broken a silence that has lasted for years. According to her recent podcast, this isn't just about fame or gossip. It's about health, trust, and a hidden situation that nobody expected. Confidential medical files, private lab reports, and private conversations are now part of a scandal so serious that insiders are calling it a public safety concern. There are whispers of secret diagnoses, possible exposure, and claims that some major figures in entertainment may have been put at risk without knowing it. Fans are stunned. People within the industry are anxious. Phones are buzzing, lawyers are busy, and plans to contain the fallout are already underway. If even part of this turns out to be true, it isn't just a celebrity controversy. It's a serious health crisis and a revelation that could completely change how the public sees one of Hollywood's most protected stars. So ask yourself, what if someone you admired the most was hiding the most dangerous secret imaginable? Once this is revealed, nothing will ever be the same.
Nasty. I mean, hell, baby daddy ex-husband just got the police called on him by one of Ra Ali's alleged girls that she sent down there to have a threesome with him. And then the girlfriend that he was supposed to have threesome with didn't want to participate, and she only wanted it to be a twosome. And so allegedly he wanted to force her to do it anyway. So she had to call the police to tell the police she didn't want to participate.
What Tasha K revealed next was something Hollywood wasn't prepared to hear. Behind the perfect skin, the glamorous red carpet appearances, and the carefully managed public image, she said there was a secret that had been hidden for years. This wasn't gossip, rumors, or blind speculation. According to her, it involved medical history, confidential documents, and private warnings that were never meant to be made public. She started her podcast with a tone that immediately demanded attention: serious, steady, and cautious, not playful or joking. That alone sent chills through listeners. When Tasha K speaks in that way, it usually means she's about to share something significant. She explained that Hollywood isn't just built on fame and talent. It's also maintained by silence, agreements, and cover-ups that can protect or ruin careers. Then, she said the name Teyana Taylor, and the energy shifted. Listeners went quiet, sensing the weight of what was coming. According to Tasha, the story was not entirely new. It had been quietly circulating behind the scenes for years, whispered among insiders, hinted at in closed circles, and carefully kept from the public eye. But now, she claimed, the silence had ended. She alleged that Teyana had been concealing a serious health condition for a long time. Not something minor or temporary, but a condition that could reportedly affect intimate partners, professional relationships, and anyone who got too close. Tasha insisted she wasn't speculating. She said she had seen medical records, leaked documents, private conversations, and what these sources suggested was both shocking and alarming. According to her, the information had not been shared with people who should have known, and the consequences might have already unfolded in ways the public never noticed. She spoke carefully, citing confidential sources and documents, but the implication was clear. This was not just about one individual. It involved potential risk, exposure, and a ripple effect that could have quietly touched some of Hollywood's most influential circles. Then she moved on to relationships. Tasha claimed that during Teyana's most vulnerable period, just after her divorce, choices were made that later raised serious questions. She described her as emotionally fragile, dealing with a painful public breakup, trying to move forward too quickly, and possibly hiding something that no one around her suspected. That's when she focused on one name in particular, Aaron Pierre. What Tasha said next changed the tone of the entire story, turning it from a personal revelation into something far more serious.
All I'm saying is that I felt like it was forced. I felt like she was way too clingy, too soon. You just got out of a nasty, very public divorce. And I feel like he was just rebounding.
When Tasha K's words hit the air, listeners froze. This wasn't just about health anymore. The story had turned into chaos, scandal, and behavior spinning out of control. She described a woman emotionally unraveling, making risky choices, and involving people in situations they never expected. According to Tasha, during this time, boundaries disappeared, lines were crossed, and circumstances were created that put others in serious danger without their knowledge. Then came the claim that shocked everyone. Tasha suggested that Teyana's ex-husband, Amare Stoudemire, might have been one of the first affected, not emotionally, but physically. She didn't say it outright, but the way she paused, emphasized, and repeatedly used allegedly left little to the imagination. She implied that the divorce wasn't just about betrayal, it was also driven by fear. Fear of what had already happened and fear of what could be discovered later. After that separation, Tasha said the pattern continued. Other high-profile figures became involved, names Hollywood usually shields. Artists, actors, influential personalities, including Kanye West and, again, Aaron Pierre. She claimed these were not casual interactions. They occur during a period when a serious health concern may have already existed. And that's when the story became more than private drama. It became a public safety issue. Tasha explained that if the documents she had seen were accurate, this wasn't just one person's problem, it was a concern for the entire industry. In Hollywood, there are systems to quietly handle situations like this. NDAs, private settlements, confidentiality agreements, and reputation management. She suggested these measures may have already been activated. Phones were ringing behind closed doors. Lawyers were moving fast, and agents were panicking. Once a health-related secret reaches the public, no one can control the consequences. The most alarming part, according to her, wasn't the condition itself. It was the silence. People who should have been warned were allegedly left in the dark, and trust may have been broken in a way that could never be repaired. She returned to Aaron Pierre, describing him as new to fame, inexperienced in Hollywood's power circles, and completely unprepared for what he had encountered. She noted his reactions afterward: confusion, emotional dependence, and behavior that suggested he was struggling to process something he never expected to face. That's when she delivered another harsh observation, leaving listeners stunned by what they were hearing.
He sounds a little bit more needy than what she's used to. That's why she slides another hoe into the bedroom, because she ain't got time to be there. You know she be traveling. She got 2 kids she got to fend for. You know what I'm saying? And she be on everybody's project, including her own. And she ain't got time to be settling down and cuddling and sucking on a man's ear to make him feel comfortable. And every time I saw them together, he was always like... And I'm like, why is he acting like Becky in the relationship? That's what he learned from them damn Beckys. For real. So, sucking on his ear. Y'all ain't ever heard that before? People that got sucking fixations, it's like a soothing mechanism. Because he can't suck his thumb in public, so she would suck on it. Come on now. Jasmine, you've seen that before, right? I just felt like he just needed a breast to suck on. He just required too much attention. And Teyana's a busy girl. So to me, I feel like, for her, it was rebound. I can't say that word right now because
When Tasha K's words hit the air, the story changed. Suddenly, it was no longer just about romance. It was about chaos, risk, and behavior spinning out of control. She suggested that the relationship she described was never meant to last. It wasn't based on honesty or stability. Instead, it was an escape from divorce, from scandal, from fear, and from a truth that was growing harder to hide. What alarmed her most wasn't gossip. It was the pattern, the secrecy, the emotional volatility, and the number of people who may have unknowingly walked into a storm. By the time she finished this part, one thing was clear. This was no longer a celebrity romance scandal. It was something far darker. If even part of her claims were true, the next chapters wouldn't be about heartbreak. They would involve risk, damage, and consequences Hollywood couldn't erase. Tasha explained that the most dangerous part wasn't emotional, it was biological. She leaned into the microphone and warned that this wasn't just about broken relationships. It was about exposure, hidden risk, and a silent network that could extend far beyond what the public imagined. She said that once this alleged condition existed, every subsequent relationship became a potential chain reaction. In private Hollywood circles, she claimed health issues are handled differently than in the outside world. Lawyers, managers, and doctors protect reputations, not people. Records are sealed, narratives are redirected, and the truth can be hidden entirely. The most troubling part, she said, wasn't the condition itself. It was the timing. According to her sources, it may have existed long before several high-profile relationships began, placing people at risk without their knowledge. She described emotional fallout too. Sudden breakups, abrupt exits, isolation, and fear. One partner began asking difficult questions, especially medical ones, and relationships collapsed overnight with no public explanation. Then Tasha returned to Aaron Pierre. Unlike previous partners, he was emotionally invested, expecting stability but finding confusion, secrecy, and chaos instead. Afterward, those around him noticed distress, anxiety, and withdrawal, signs of someone struggling to process something they didn't understand. Tasha said this was when the situation quietly became an industry warning. Managers whispered to managers, agents called agents, and doctors offered private guidance. Certain people were quietly advised to get tested. Then she asked the question that changed everything. What if this didn't stop with one relationship? What if it extended further? She hinted that even top figures, including Leonardo DiCaprio, could have been affected, not confirmed but suggested as a possibility. By the end, listeners understood. This wasn't gossip. This was a public health issue, and in situations like this, silence becomes the most dangerous weapon. Emotional instability, dependency, and fear were all signs that the story wasn't just about love. It was about consequences hidden behind closed doors.
People think it was a PR relationship. I feel that it was. I feel like it was mutually beneficial. They both could use the PR. This helped her to distract from what was going on with Eamon. Is that his name, Jasmine?
It's Iman.
Now that he's,
Iman.
Iman. Okay, y'all know I'm bad with names. And so,
those words changed everything. The story shifted again, from danger to escape, from exposure to distraction. Tasha K suggested that this relationship was never about love. It was about survival, moving quickly, staying busy, and avoiding stillness because when things slowed down, questions grew too large to ignore. She said Teyana's schedule became non-stop, back-to-back projects, constant travel, public appearances, almost as if movement itself was a strategy, a way to outrun consequences. Insiders reportedly described her as emotionally distant, guarded, and afraid of letting anyone in. When people got too close, they were pushed away. According to Tasha, heartbreak wasn't the real reason relationships ended. It was information, something discovered, something suspected, something too serious to ignore. That's why breakups were abrupt. No slow fade, no closure, just sudden silence. She explained what she called the containment phase, when Hollywood allegedly realized this could explode. Reputation managers allegedly stepped in. Stories were redirected, narratives reframed, and timelines blurred. Instead of health concerns, the public got rumors about cheating, personality clashes, or career disagreements. And it worked. Fans speculated endlessly, but no one asked the most important question. Was someone being protected? Tasha described the emotional toll. Sleepless nights, panic attacks, isolation, and fear became common. One person allegedly spent months in denial before quietly seeking private medical answers. When those answers came, careers changed, contracts shifted, and relationships disappeared. From that point, the story became about damage control, not one individual. She said Hollywood's reaction was immediate. Emergency meetings, crisis calls, strict instructions to remain silent. That silence kept the story buried, until now. Tasha claimed Teyana moved into full image protection mode after the breakup. Stylists, publicists, and managers quietly reshaped narratives, distancing Aaron Pierre, subtly questioning his stability and reframing his behavior without publicly attacking him. She said this was strategic. Hollywood thrives on silence, and when that silence is threatened, the system responds. Fans were fed drama and heartbreak, while executives quietly managed risk. Certain people were advised to stay out of public spaces, testing was done discreetly, and confidentiality agreements were enforced. Conversations once casual suddenly felt legally sensitive. Tasha said social media began to reveal cracks. Fans noticed sudden retreats, canceled appearances, and mysterious delays. Behind the scenes, insiders understood something serious had frightened the industry. And she warned that the emotional fallout was intense. Panic, isolation, sleepless nights, and anxiety, with at least one person withdrawing from public life entirely. Finally, she returned to behavior. Aaron's neediness, constant search for reassurance, and emotional dependence now made sense. According to her, these were signs of someone sensing danger without fully understanding it. And that, she said, sealed this chapter of the story. Those words landed like a verdict. The story shifted again, from romance to destruction, from connection to strategy, from scandal to careful cover. Tasha K suggested that this relationship may never have been about love at all. Instead, it was about visibility, redirecting attention, rewriting headlines, and keeping focus away from something far more dangerous happening behind closed doors. She said the timing alone raised concerns, right after a divorce, right after rumors, and just before questions could emerge. It seemed almost too deliberate. According to her, this is how Hollywood handles crises. Not by denying, but by distracting. Introduce a new romance, flood social media with images, and keep the public busy while the real problem quietly disappears. She claimed this tactic bought time, months, maybe years for contracts to be renegotiated, records sealed, and people to move on without scrutiny. But what no one expected was Tasha K. She said she finally spoke because people were being hurt, not emotionally, but physically. Silence, she explained, was no longer acceptable. What disturbed her most wasn't celebrity behavior. It was the pattern of protection, the way power shields itself, buries the truth, and leaves those without influence to face the consequences alone. She warned that this was only the beginning. Fear spreads quickly in an industry, leaving legal, medical, and digital traces, and eventually someone talks. Tasha said there were still names she hadn't revealed, documents she hadn't shared, and connections she hadn't exposed. The full story, she claimed, would show not only relationships but the systems that protect fame over safety, silence over truth, and power over people. Hollywood, she said, was no longer managing a scandal. It was facing a crisis of trust. If even part of these allegations were true, this wasn't about one celebrity. It was about an industry that allowed danger to exist as long as no one spoke. And now, someone finally had. This story isn't gossip. It's a warning about how quickly love can turn into damage control, how narratives are rewritten when power intervenes, and how dangerous silence becomes when truth is too costly. Tasha left listeners with a chilling thought. What else is hidden behind Hollywood's perfect smiles? Who's been protected while others suffered? And how many stories are still buried, waiting for the right moment to explode? One thing is certain. This story does not end here.